It is a sovereign state comprising the mainland of the Australian continent, the island of Tasmania, and several smaller islands. It is located in the southern hemisphere of Southeast Asia and the western Pacific Ocean, and its capital is Canberra. The continent is surrounded to the north by the Timor Sea, the Arafura Sea, and the Strait of Torres, to the east by the Coral Sea and the Tasman Sea, to the south by the Bass Passage, and to the south and west by the Indian Ocean. The area of Australia is 7,617,930 square kilometres, 2,941,300 mi², on the surface of the Australian continent. It is bordered by the Indian Ocean to the west and the Pacific Ocean to the east, separated from Asia by the Arafura Sea and the Timor Sea, separated by the Tasman Sea from New Zealand, and separated by the Antarctic Ocean from Antarctica. Australia is the smallest continent in the world and the sixth largest country in the world by area. Due to its size and isolation, Australia is an island continent and is the largest island in the world. The area of Australia's shores is 34,218 kilometres, 21,262 miles, excluding all offshore islands, and Australia has many and wide areas of exclusive economic zones estimated at 8,148,250 square kilometres, 3,146,060 mi². This EEZ does not include the Australian territory of Antarctica. Excluding the Macquarie Islands, Australia lies between 9 degrees to 44 degrees S and 122 degrees to 154 degrees E. The Great Barrier Reef, the largest coral reef in the world, is located a short distance off the northeastern shore and is approximately 2,000 kilometers, 1,240 miles, in extent. The Great Range is the largest mountain range in Australia. It extends from northeastern Queensland along the east coast through New South Wales and then reaches Victoria in the south, turning west. The tallest mountain in Australian territory, with a length of 2,228 meters, 7,310 feet, is Mount Kosciuszko in the Great Dividing Region, although there is a mountain higher than it, but it is in the Australian province of Heard Island, which is Mount Mason Peak, whose height reaches 2,745 meters, 9,006 feet. Australia consists of 6 states: New South Wales, Queensland, South Australia, Tasmania, Victoria, Western Australia, and 2 major provinces, the Northern Territory and the Australian Capital Territory. The 2 provinces are sometimes treated as states, but the Commonwealth Parliament can override any legislation of their parliament. In contrast, federal legislation overrides state legislation in the areas listed in Article 51 of the Australian Constitution, but state legislation retains all powers in the rest of the remaining articles, including schools, state police, state judiciary, roads, public transport and local government, as they do not fall under provisions contained in Article 51. Each state and major territory has its own parliament, 1 legislature in the Northern Territory, the Australian Capital Territory and Queensland, and 2 legislatures in the remaining states. The states are sovereign entities, although they are subject to certain powers of the Commonwealth as defined in the Constitution. The lower houses are the Legislative Assembly, the House of Assembly of South Australia and Tasmania, while the upper houses are the Legislative Council. The head of government in each state is the Prime Minister, and in each region the Prime Minister. The Queen is the ruler of each state. In the Northern Territory, she is the Director. In the Commonwealth, the Queen is represented as Governor-General. The federal parliament also says those islands Jervis Bay, a naval base and port of the capital which was formerly part of New South Wales. Christmas Island and the Cocos Islands, Ashmore and Cartier Islands, Coral Sea Islands, Heard Island and McDonald Islands, Australian territory on Antarctica. Norfolk Island is an offshore county, but under the Norfolk Island Act 1979, it has greater authority and autonomy. The Queen is the main ruler, but the head of the country is Owen Wallace. Australia has an economic market with high domestic production and a low poverty rate. The Australian dollar is the official currency of the country, as well as of Christmas Island, the Cocos Islands, and Norfolk Island, as well as the independent Pacific Island states of Kiribati, Nauru, and Tuvalu. In 2006, after the merger of the Australian Stock Exchange and the Sydney Futures Exchange, the Australian stock market became the 9th largest in the world. Ranked 3rd in the 2010 Index of Economic Freedom, Australia is the 13th largest economy and 9th in terms of GDP per capita, higher than the United Kingdom, Germany, France, Canada, Japan, and the United States of America. The country was ranked 2nd in the United Nations Human Development Index 2010 and 1st in the Prosperity Index of Legatum Statistics 2010. All of Australia's major cities are ranked among the world's most livable cities. Melbourne is ranked 2nd in The Economist's 2008 statistics among the cities with the most livable, followed by Perth, Adelaide and Sydney in 4th, 7th and 9th place.